For this week's podcast on English.com, we're talking about exercise.
Now, if you want to work out and get fit, there's always been a choice. Either to do it in a group or by yourself at home.
Yes, and I suppose there's always been pros and cons for both of them.
Well, if you think about working at home, Richard, one of the advantages, I suppose, is you can do it when you want and how long for.
Yes, but there's also a lack of motivation doing it on your own, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose enthusiasm. You need to be disciplined, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And then working in a group, joining a club or something like that. The advantages there, of course, is that it makes you do it, especially if you've paid, yeah?
Yes, and you get to use all that expensive machinery as well, which is quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be quite social. You can actually, make friends when you do those things.
Yes, you just have to make sure you don't go for a drink afterwards or something like that.
But they can be expensive, can't they?
Yes.
Some gyms and health clubs are very expensive.
Especially those inner city ones, yes.
Yeah. So what about you, Richard? Which do you prefer if you had a choice?
Well, I remember way back in the past, I did some aerobics classes with people, but generally I prefer to exercise on my own, to be honest.
But at home or...
Well, if I can't go out, I much prefer to go out and about, but if I'm at home, yes, in a quiet room. And what about you, Jackie? What about you? What do you prefer?
Well, you know the answer to that. You remember the rowing machine story.
Oh, the famous rowing machine story. You were very keen to get a rowing machine, weren't you? You thought, this is it. I'm going to get fit.
Well, we were living in a place where it wasn't possible to join a club. And so I think someone was selling a second-hand rowing machine. I thought, that's just what I want to do. A few minutes, 10 minutes or so every day. It didn't last long.
I was going to say, it's interesting you say a few minutes. I think it only lasted a few minutes and that was it. You got a bad back, didn't you? Or
No. I found it boring.
Yes.
Really, really boring. I just didn't have the motivation. I just lost enthusiasm very quickly. So I much prefer going with a group of people and doing it on a regular basis.
yes, I was never really keen on the rowing machine, but when I went to the gym, I often used the exercise bike. And at one stage, I was quite tempted to buy one to use it at home as well. In those days, they were very, very, very simple. But nowadays, you get some people buy them and they're very, very complex.
Yeah, a good example of that, Richard, is the Peloton bike. Now, that is an indoor exercise bike like no other.
Right, okay.
Now, the bike includes an inbuilt touchscreen. So not only can you see your ongoing progress, things like heart rate, resistance, cadence and output, what I don't know what those are, but you can also, looking at the screen, ride along with others.
And I think is there a map on there as well, and you can go uphill and downhill and things like that?
There are two things. There are classes you can join, and there are thousands of classes to join. And you can choose which kind of class, how difficult it is, what kind of thing you want to do. But yeah, you're right. On top of the classes, there are these scenic routes. I think this would appeal to me a lot more. You can leisurely ride through a choice of beautiful scenes from around the world.
Interesting. But is it really the future of fitness? For this week's podcast on English.com, we're talking about exercise.
Now, if you want to work out and get fit, there's always been a choice. Either to do it in a group or by yourself at home.
Yes, and I suppose there's always been pros and cons for both of them.
Well, if you think about working at home, Richard, one of the advantages, I suppose, is you can do it when you want and how long for.
Yes, but there's also a lack of motivation doing it on your own, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose enthusiasm. You need to be disciplined, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And then working in a group, joining a club or something like that. The advantages there, of course, is that it makes you do it, especially if you've paid, yeah.
Yes, and you get to use all that expensive machinery as well, which is quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be quite social. You can actually, make friends when you do those things.
Yes, you just have to make sure you don't go for a drink afterwards or something like that.
But they can be expensive, can't they?
Yes.
I mean, some gyms and health clubs are very expensive.
Especially those inner city ones, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what about you, Richard? Which do you prefer if you had a choice?
Well, I remember way back in the past, I did some aerobics classes with people, but generally I prefer to exercise on my own, to be honest.
But at home or...
Well, if I can't go out, I much prefer to go out and about, but if I'm at home, yes, in a quiet room. And what about you, Jackie? What about you? What do you prefer?
Well, you know the answer to that. You remember the rowing machine story.
Oh, the famous rowing machine story. You were very keen to get a rowing machine, weren't you? You thought, this is it. I'm going to get fit.
Well, we were living in a place where it wasn't possible to join a club. And so I think someone was selling a second-hand rowing machine. I thought, that's just what I want to do. A few minutes, 10 minutes or so every day. It didn't last long.
I was going to say, it's interesting you say a few minutes. I think it only lasted a few minutes and that was it. You got a bad back, didn't you? Or
No. I found it boring.
Yes.
Really, really boring. I just didn't have the motivation. I just lost enthusiasm very quickly. So I much prefer going with a group of people and doing it on a regular basis.
Yes, I was never really keen on the rowing machine, but when I went to the gym, I often used the exercise bike. And at one stage, I was quite tempted to buy one to use it at home as well. I mean, in those days, they were very, very, very simple. But nowadays, you get some people buy them and they're very, very complex.
Yeah, a good example of that, Richard, is the Peloton bike. Now, that is an indoor exercise bike like no other.
Right, okay.
Now, the bike includes an inbuilt touchscreen. So not only can you see your ongoing progress, things like heart rate, resistance, cadence and output, what I don't know what those are, but you can also, looking at the screen, ride along with others.
And I think is there a map on there as well, and you can go uphill and downhill and things like that?
There are two things. There are classes you can join, and there are thousands of classes to join. And you can choose which kind of class, how difficult it is, what kind of thing you want to do. But yeah, you're right. On top of the classes, there are these scenic routes. I think this would appeal to me a lot more. You can leisurely ride through a choice of beautiful scenes from around the world.
Interesting. But is it really the future of fitness?